Chapter 4. The Radio Demoness Who Fell Ill. My next morning in hell was not a pleasant one. The moment I woke up, I could feel that something was wrong. For starters, my throat was absolutely killing me. It was completely swollen to shit, and it felt like somebody had taken a knife and slashed it. Of course, no one had. It was just a sore throat. Well, not just. Additionally, my head hurt, and my entire body felt like it was on fire. I felt way too hot, even though I was in hell. I groaned inwardly. No matter what, I could not let anyone know I was ill. I had to hide this, and fast. I forced myself to sit up and immediately regretted the effort put into it. I felt like I was about to collapse. I took a deep breath and stood up. I struggled to the bathroom and nearly tripped. I wondered how long I could continue to feel lightheaded and dizzy before passing out. It felt like it was going to happen any moment, so I sat down for a few moments. Getting ready for the day was going to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Somehow, I was able to get dressed in one of the outfits Alastor had given me. He figured that if I was going to be in his image, I might as well look the part. To tell the truth, I wasn't sure I agreed with him. I mean, what if I wanted to be my own person? But then again, he wasn't going to allow that to happen. I was to do whatever he wanted me to do for eternity, or, at the very least, the amount of time I would be spending in hell. Could you die a second time? Was that a thing? I quickly put on my best smile and headed downstairs. "Alastria!" Charlie explained happily. "So glad you can join us for today's exercises." She took hold of my arm and led me over to where everyone else was standing. I wasn't entirely sure what was going on. I had heard that this demon princess was trying to rehabilitate sinners, but I had no idea what she thought might help fix them. I did my best to look as normal as possible. I immediately fixed my posture and straightened up. "Well, Alastor doesn't seem to be here, so why not?" I said, imitating my father's famous smile. I prayed that my sick-ass voice wouldn't give anything away. I wasn't sure if anyone could hear the difference, but I was most afraid that Husk would know. He seemed as if he knew everything about everyone here. I had not heard him say anything, but it was a feeling I had. He seemed rather observant. It was quite strange to me given his solitary tendencies. "Everyone, as you may or may not know," Charlie continued, "I am dividing you up into teams of 2. This is a group exercise. Each of you are going to say 5 things you like about that person, and then you are going to hug." Charlie wrapped her arms around her body to emphasize her point. I shivered a bit at the thought of hugging some of these new people. I could already tell that they were not huge fans of that sort of affection. In fact, I was certain that none of them were interested in this ridiculous activity of hers. Not that it was all that ridiculous. It just seemed like it wouldn't do much good to those who would prefer not to do it at all. In a few mere moments, most of the group were divided up. Nifty was with Alastor, who had finally decided to show up after all. Charlie was with Vaggie, and Angel, Husk, and I were left. "Oh dear, I hadn't thought this one through," Charlie said, realizing her mistake. "It seems that we have an uneven number of participants. Angel, Husk, and Australia will be the 3rd team." Angel smirked as he walked over to where Husk was standing. I hesitated to walk over to them. Was Charlie out of her fucking mind? Husk and Angel never got along. Angel's constant flirting annoyed Husk to no end. And me? Well, none of them were used to me yet, and I was sure that none of them liked me either. This little exercise of Charlie's was most definitely not going to fix anything. "Charlie, I don't really think," I began as I tried to walk away. In the beginning, I had been fine with participating in these meaningless exercises, but now, all I wanted to do was leave. However, I could not get away so easily. "Oh, come on, it'll be fun," Charlie insisted, gently moving me toward the group. "Please, we need all the sinners we can get to try this. It might prove the hotel really works." Charlie looked up at me with wide, pleading eyes. She was lucky that she was a hard person to say no to. I sighed in annoyance. "Fine, whatever," I said. Charlie smiled, and I slowly walked over to Husk and Angel. The spider was already getting too flirty with the cat bartender. "Angel, do you mind?" I asked, stepping between them and flashing my smile once more. "After all, we are here to follow Princess Morningstar's instructions, not flirt. Isn't that right, Angel?" I held back a cough so as to not draw attention to myself and my truly ill state. "Well, if it's you want to do, babes," Angel said, smirking at me in his old flirty way. He inched even closer to me. You know, this game can become anything you want it to be. He pulled my face towards his with his hand and smiled. I shivered at his touch. I wasn't very comfortable with the way he went around doing this to other people. I pushed his hand away gently. Well, aren't you an intriguing character? I said, managing to maintain my smile. But alas, no. Now is not the time for your sexual antics, my pale arachnid fellow. No, we must do as Charlie says. So, who would like to go first? For a long moment, all of us were silent. Nobody wanted to go first, and I wasn't about to indulge in this type of exercise. This was a one-time thing only. After today, I decided not to participate in this kind of thing ever again. Well, I suppose I should start, I said, finally deciding to stand up. If no one else was going to lead the group, then I suppose I should. Now then, who to pick? I glanced at the two people in front of me. Husk rolled his eyes and sighed in annoyance. Clearly the situation was making him uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Angel had stopped speaking in such a flirty way towards me. However, he still winked at me occasionally. Husk seemed like he needed a compliment, to be perfectly honest. He just looked so fucking miserable that I could not help but feel sorry for the old cat. Husk, I said, I like your drinks. You are doing the hotel a wonderful service. Since I didn't know him all that well, it felt appropriate to say that. I was well aware of a few small voice cracks when I spoke. My voice was getting scratchy and so much deeper than normal. Fucking Christ, was there no dim magic in existence that could save me from this? Well, it was hell after all. And if I knew anything about hell, it was that we were all meant to suffer for all eternity. And that included getting ravaged by illness, too. Oh, go fuck yourself. Everyone says that. I'm the bartender of the hotel, for fuck's sake, Husk responded gruffly. But I guess, thanks. He quickly turned away from me, reluctant to take the compliment. I knew it wasn't much, but it was all I could think of. None of us knew each other all that well. But to be fair, the hotel hasn't existed for very long either. Don't expect a fucking compliment from me, Husk told me. You could just tell Charlie that I said something nice, or whatever. He took a drink from a bottle of alcohol and made it out that he was going to try to forget about his whole experience. I wondered how much he could drink in the span of an entire day. All I ever saw him do was drink alcohol. It was very clear that he didn't like anyone, but Baggy actually might kill him if she found out that he was not participating in the activity. I turned to Angel and prepared to give him a compliment, although it might go to his head since the guy was practically obsessed with himself and probably got compliments all the time due to the massive amounts of fans he had gained throughout hell. Angel, I like your arms, I said. Well, of course you do, baby, Angel said, smoothing back his hair and looking seductively in my general direction. Can you imagine just what I could do with all these fucking hands? They could go wherever you want them to. All right, well, guess it's my turn. Gotta say, I like your drinks too, Husk. And you? Well, I like how you take control of the situation. It's pretty admirable, actually. In that moment, I could feel myself smiling for real that time. I was surprised to hear Angel being serious for once. Perhaps the spider wasn't so bad after all. Husk just ignored Angel's compliment and went back to the bar for another drink. It looked as though the others were finished too. I started to walk back to Alastor when Angel grabbed my arm and pulled me aside. Psst, hey babes, he said. If you ever want to go out somewhere for fun, I'm the spider to call. I stared at him for a moment. I had gone out to clubs and things that a couple of times in my previous life back when I was on Earth, and I could remember how much fun it was. Back then, I'd had a lot of friends that I could have fun with. It was starting to sink in, the fact that I didn't really have any friends now. No, I'm serious, Angel said. Look, I know this place can get overwhelming at times, and it drives me fucking crazy sometimes. So, if you ever want to get out of here and just go somewhere to get fucking high and have some fun, I'm your guy. You know where my room is, baby. The spider blew a kiss at me and then walked away. In my hand, he had left a small piece of paper that had the names of a few bars and clubs. Most likely, these were the places the spider had been to before. Once I was back in my room, I let myself cough as much as I needed to. That was the most fucking exhausting thing I had ever done in my life. I had to hope that I wasn't coughing too loudly. People might be able to hear that. I could feel my voice getting hoarser and hoarser with each passing minute. I cleared my throat. Fucking damn it, why did I feel like I was going to die from this bullshit? It was bad enough that I had to be dealing with this on a work day. Alastor was expecting me to fulfill my duties as his daughter. Just then, Alastor appeared. As Alastor appeared, I was having another coughing fit. I quickly straightened myself up and acted like nothing was going on. "Greetings, Alastor," I said as brightly as I could. Even though he was smiling, Alastor could tell that something was off about me today. He came closer to me and examined me. I stood still, maintaining my stupid fake-ass smile in order to keep him from finding out about anything. But my cough came back again, and I couldn't help it. "Oh, Alastrea, my poor, poor darling," Alastor said, taking notice of it. "You look like an absolute mess." Shit, I needed to do something to cover this up. But how? He had clearly figured it out by now, and there was probably no way of ever coming back from this. I cleared my throat once again. "No, I'm fine," I told him, though getting interrupted by the coughing. "Damn body. Why can't you just stay fucking healthy like the rest of the people in hell?" To be fair, though, I might not be the only person sick. There could be many other sinners and demons dealing with the same shit I was right now. Now, my daughter," Alastor said, patting my head as if speaking softly to a young child. "You're not in any condition to do my tasks. No, not like this, my dear. You must rest until you're better. In fact, I order you to." Before I could say anything else in defense, Alastor picked me up and put me to bed with the covers over me. He put a cool towel on my head to bring down my fever as well. "Do rest up, dear," Alastor told me. "Can't have my daughter too sick to do my work now, can I?" "Don't you worry about a thing. I will take care of it and alert Charlie of the situation. Rest well, darling." I just stared at him in confusion. A huge part of me knew that he was only doing this so that I could get better quickly and do his work for him. But the other part of me wanted to believe that he was doing this because he genuinely cared about me. If he truly doesn't care for anyone, then why treat me kindly and in such a gentle manner? Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.